Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classics, Classics, Non-Classics, episode number 857, Doubleshot 751. I kind of forgot that I was going to do this one anyways, but I was planning to do this one, but I just remembered because I saw these two trades, and I had myself like, oh yeah, I better do this Comic Corner. So, we got two comic trades, two Marvel trades. Okay, first up it is Fantastic Four Epic Collection, Volume 3, The Coming of Galactus. This collects the classic issues of Fantastic Four, issues 33, 51, and number 3. These issues are noteworthy for many first appearances. First of which is reoccurring Namor villain, Atuma. A man who is kind of considered to be, in my honest opinion, Marvel's version of Ocean Master, though not as well known as Ocean Master. The only reason why I think he's similar to Ocean Master is because he's at least an Atlantean and he fights frequently against Namor. The only difference is he's not Namor's half-brother. Nope. That's the only difference. But yeah, you get first appearance of him, the Fight for Four, which the original lineup was consisted of two villains who are from a Human Torch feature from the Strange Tales comic, the Wizard and the Trapster. And they're also joined by Spider-Man villain Sandman. Yeah, because this guy was seriously a member of the Frightful Four from the moment they debuted up until the 1970s. No joke, this is seriously true. And who is their mysterious fourth member? Why, it's Medusa in her very first appearance. Though this basically did spring off a reoccurring storyline with the Frightful Four. My guess is the reason why they were created, and this is just my honest opinion, two reasons. One, because the Brother Immunes was very popular, so why not have a group of villains be recurring villains in a group comic book? So, and of course, I think the Massive debut around the same time as well. So, it was like, okay, Lee and Kirby is like, okay, we have two successful villain groups, let's create another one who actually a recurring one. Not like the Sinister Six, where they make one appearance and they'll make an appearance for 20 years. Yep, and these guys fought Professor Anna for a good period of time, a good almost 10 issues. And then 3 of them were arrested and taken off to jail. Same, of course, they returned in the pages of Marvel Team Up after this. And in the case of Medusa, Johnny Storm kind of was following her, and then we got the debut of various members of the Inhumans. We have Gorgon, we have Triton, we have Medusa's sister Crystal, and then finally, well, of course, Karnak, obviously, and then the last one was introduced was Black Bolt himself, which a lot of these characters are pretty much don't look very much different from they look currently, though Karnak did change his look. Yeah, Karnak is the only one who actually did change his look. Everyone else pretty much looks the same, except Crystal, I think, wears a slightly different outfit. Oh yeah, and also the debut of Maximus the Mad and the Alpha Primates, and the city of Atalan makes his debut in this very storyline. The storyline is abruptly cut off by the debut of, well, the return first of the Watcher. Some people commonly mistake the storyline of the Coming Galactus, the Galactus trilogy, as the first appearance of the Watcher. That actually is completely untrue. His first appearance was back at Fantastic Four number 13. Yes, that was seriously his first appearance, not Fantastic Four 48. That is the debut of the Silver Surfer and Galactus himself. Oh, in case you're wondering, what the heck did Galactus look like in his debut appearance? He did look a little different than he does currently. I mean, my gosh, it was like, when I saw this again, it's been a while since I read this issue, and like a few years actually, not like good 40 years because I'm not that old. Only 30. Yeah. If you're curious though, what the heck did Galactus look like in his debut appearance? Well, his design didn't really change very much, but his color scheme is completely different. This is Galactus in his debut appearance. I'm like, wow! It's like, yeah, I'm so glad they changed the color scheme out of this because, man, he looks so bizarre. And that's what he looked like when he first showed up. And then they decided to change him to his traditional purple look. Yeah, this is kind of more closer to how he's depicted recently, except that the G is no longer there. And of course, yeah, there's the Watcher, one of his earliest appearances. It had been a while, I think at this point, since the appearance of the Watcher. Here's a little splash page. Yeah, that's something odd though about Fantastic Four during this period of time. Yeah, Jack Kirby these random splash pages for just really no reason at all. Yeah, this storyline was also noteworthy for the debut of the Silver Surfer. Here's what he kind of looked like early on. It's not exactly his first appearance, but yeah, that's what he looked like early on. He doesn't look that much different. That's one thing interesting, though, I gotta say about the Silver Surfer. The design for him has never changed in the entire time this character's been around. Galactus has certainly changed, but not Silver Surfer. Basically, most of his backstory is pretty much mostly intact, anyways. And of course, I think it was just a few years after this storyline came out that Silver Surfer did get his own solo book, which lasted for about 3 years before being canceled. And plus, also, like, the first 7 issues were double-sized. And of course, after that ended, we had a one-shot in the early 80s. And in the late 80s, we had the long-running ongoing series, which lasted 146 issues. I'm not counting a 2-issue miniseries as part of the numbering. That's just a non-canon one. In the early 2000s, we had the 14-issue 4th volume, the 6-issue miniseries that came just before Slot's run, and of course the 2 volumes of Xana Slot. Galactus himself would get his own miniseries in the 90s called Galactus the Devourer. Yeah, but there's also Galactus the Ordinary. He had a couple miniseries, but that's really mostly he just been recurring, mostly in Fantastic Four. A lot of the time, he would occasionally make appearances outside Fantastic Four throughout the years, but mostly as of recently, he's mostly showed up in pages of Silver Surfer, showed up in Ultimates, became the Lightbringer before they undid it last year for some stupid reason. I have no idea why they actually haven't go back to being the Devourer. I think that was a dumb move on the part of Marvel to do. How Ewing made him the Lightbringer at the start of his run for Ultimates, and then I think it was like not long before Al Ewing stopped writing Ultimates, Galactus went right back being the Devourer for really no reason at all. Yeah. But these issues are just pure classic. Oh, I almost forgot. The Annual. That's the wedding of Reed Richards and Susan Storm, which was frequently interrupted by supervillains. People like the Mandarin. Yeah, there was a boatload of villains. Oh, by the way, Sue Storm got her revenge many years later for this. Yeah, because of all the frequent interruptions of villains. Because villains keep frequently interrupting her wedding. Yeah, she basically got payback against the villains in the 90s when Titania and... I'm trying to think who else was... Oh yeah, Titania and the Absorbent, when they got married, they just basically got into a fight with the villains. They didn't disrupt the ceremony at all. Nope. They never did. It was by far one of the most oddest things. Now here are the people who guest starred in this issue who are villains in this annual. We have Doctor Doom. Though he's not the only one. We have the Red Ghost. Currently a deceased supervillain. Got killed by Hydra Cap. We also have the Mole Man, because, well, it's Celebration of Fantastic Four anyway, so why the heck not? We also get appearance by the X-Men, one of the very few appearances they made outside of their comic book in the 60s. Doctor Strange. We also have... they also had the Dragon Man's debut in these issues. We have the Mandarin, we have the Black Knight, we have Andy the Awesome Android, the Great Gargoyle, Kang, I think a Skrull. We also had, the Skrulls. We had Daredevil, Mr. Hyde, Executioner, Enchantress, Cobra, who was later retitled King Cobra, in order to not avoid copyright from Hasbro and to avoid confusion. Yep. Atum makes a brief appearance. Yeah, and that's really it. It would just... The thing about... It seems like that when Jack Kirby and Stan Lee did this annual back in the 60s, they must have a blast doing this annual. Because at the end of the annual, they themselves make a cameo appearance at the end of the annual. And by the way, this cameo was actually referenced in the second Fantastic Four live-action film from Fox, when Stan Lee showed up at Reed and Stu's wedding in New York. Classic stuff, 10 out of 10. Really damn good book. Next up is X-Men, The Shattering. This collects Uncanny X-Men 372-375. X-Men, Volume 2, 1995. Astonishing X-Men, Volume 2, 1 through 3, and material from the 1999 yearbook. Writing by Alan Davis, Terry Kavanagh, Andy Kubert, Jay Ferber, and the awesome Howard Mankey. Adam Kubert also does the artwork, and he also co-writes some of the issues for some reason. Jeff Johnson, Alan Davis, who is also one of the writers. Rob Jensen, Tom Rooney, Brett Booth, and Brandon Pearson. Simply put, this storyline was set up for the storyline The 12. That's simply all this book was. The storyline was. Though I did not like of how my biggest problem with the storyline is how Xavier was written. He was written to be a complete jerk, and he basically chastised Excalibur for being a failed experiment. Really? A failed experiment? An experiment that lasted for over 10 years, and it was a fantastic comic book. It seemed like, though, that Alan Davis didn't really, even though Alan Davis did draw some Excalibur comics, I'm not sure what was the whole purpose of that. And also the fact that Kitty Pryde and Nightcrawler had to go through some training. Seriously? They're experienced X-Men. Why would they have to go through training for like this? It makes no goddamn sense. Yeah, of course you have Wolverine. Of course Wolverine apparently dies. But also the X-Men briefly disband because Xavier thinks there's an imposter on the team. There really is. Wolverine was revealed to be a Skrull. Yeah. Oh yeah, and by the way, what happened to Wolverine? Well, we had the character Death rolling around. Well, not the physical embodiment of Death, more like the Horseman of Death from Apocalypse. Who was the Horseman of Death Apocalypse? Why, it was Wolverine himself. As for how in the world he became Apocalypse, that was explained in the 12. That was a good mystery of how they revealed that Wolverine was in fact the Horseman of Death. It was a great secret. It was nothing really foreshadowed by him, except he was really short, but it was just really damn good. We also saw Nate Gray and Cable basically working together in this book during the Astonishing X-Men stuff. Now, the first 5 Astonishing X-Men, that was meant to be replacement for, I think it was Uncanny X-Men originally. And then, of course, we got his own miniseries several years later, and then an ongoing series in 2004, and once again in 2017. Yep. This one was actually like one issue shorter than the last one, but it's really damn good. And I do highly recommend this. If you're interested in the storyline, the 12, start here. This is basically the start of it. Even though it is a crossover, but this is part one of a this is actually part one of a 3-part big epic storyline that starts from here, goes to 12, and it leads to Age of Apocalypse, and it finally gets concluded in the search for Cyclops. Yep. I'm going to give this book roughly a 9.5 out of 10. It's really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a great way. It's great book to read. And can you believe all this stuff came out in 1989? Yeah, almost 20 years ago. Yep. So that's really it for this particular review. Stay tuned for my reviews of the film for Black Butler, and of course the review of the newest chapter of My Hero Academia. Okay, but here's the next review. Bye.